What's up, you guys? My name is Matt, and I want to welcome you to the 0 to 100K project, where I'm challenging myself to go from $0 to $100,000 a month in passive income, and I'm inviting you to come on this journey with me. If that resonates with you and you want to be around like-minded people that are interested in changing their financial futures forever, then subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's do this together. Today, we're going to be talking about the drip garden and why I believe that this is truly the checkmate move. If you believe that drip is going to go up, if there's going to be a massive pump in price appreciation, then the drip garden is the play, the checkmate move of where you need to be. I just want to reiterate that I'm not a financial advisor, that you need to do your own research and only invest in projects and protocols that you believe in. It's truly your decision. Now, I want to say before I even jump into that, I believe personally, and this is only my opinion, that having a strong faucet account is what you need to do first. It's what I have tried to do myself, is to get myself a nice faucet position. Because remember, the drip faucet pays you out 1% like a machine. For a year and a half now, it's paid out 1% every single day without fail. No downtime. It's never not. No matter what, it's paid out 1% every single day. This can be a money printing machine for you to feed all of your other investments. People use it as their seed money for other DeFi investments or even physical investments like real estate. Now, there's a different group of people that actually make their living and live off of selling drip to pay their mortgages, all of their expenses, their utilities, and their lifestyle. And that's great too. The point is, use it however you want, but make sure that you take advantage of what it can do for you. Like for me, even right now, if you look at my account, I've got 1,200 drip in my deposits. So that means I'm making 12 drip per day. So 12 drip per day, if you think about the price right now is $8.78. So if we go to the calculator and I say 12 drip times 878, that's $105 per day times 30 days. So that's $33,160 per month. So right there, that alone could pay most people's mortgages. Now, that depends on what kind of house you live in, but most people, that could pay their mortgage payment, which is great. Now, that would require me selling every day, and I'm not really interested in that. I have way bigger vision for my account. Remember, this is a solo sport, but for my account than that. So I see bigger things in the future for drip. I see major price appreciation in the future. So I won't be selling, but I'm just showing you what's possible. Now, don't worry, we're still going to go and cover the drip garden, but it's important that we talk about why we think it's the checkmate move. So if we jump over and look at the price of drip, we've been down here in this accumulation phase, and we have this possible inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. And if you remember last time, I said that it's probably going to come back and retest this, and we need a bullish retest to be up and to the right after that and off to the races. Now, remember, it's important to note that support and resistance lines are actually zones more than they are lines. So it doesn't mean that this has failed since it came through this, what I drew as a support line. It just means it's in a zone, right? So you could say that this is a zone right here. So it's in this zone that it needs to bounce and come back out. You know, it could also catch a wick and then slingshot back up. There's a lot of scenarios that could happen, but I'm still waiting for this to play out. And one thing that I'm noticing in this pattern right here is a smoothing off. Now remember, these are 4-hour time periods right here. Last time we saw that happened. Last time we saw it here, this happened. We saw it here, this happened. We've been putting in higher lows each step of the way. And I'm thinking that as we approach this announcement, that Forex is going to announce the launch date of the animal farm on August 30th, Tuesday, that we're going to see some price movement based out of that. Now, if you zoom out and let's look at the daily. So we're on the daily time frame right now. There's a saying in technical analysis that rounded bottoms pay the bills. And what that means is these rounded bottoms, like right here, this is a rounded bottom. And look what happened after this rounded bottom, okay? What rounded bottoms are, they're really just accumulation phases. People are accumulating in this area. Rounded bottoms, okay? Now, what are we seeing over here? If you guys had to guess, what are we seeing? We are seeing a potential rounded bottom. So what I'm looking for out of this is a rounded bottom and a major move to the upside. A major move at least to all-time high eventually. This is me speculating. Okay, I'm using some technical analysis, which doesn't always translate over to DeFi, but we use what we have. We use data that we have. Okay, let's jump over and look at the drip garden. Okay, here we are, and you could see that I have 575,000 plants. So I've crossed over the 500,000 mark, which is pretty exciting compared to where I started. But to more easily digest what's going on here, let's jump over and look at dripformulate.finance over here, because this shows you what's going on in a lot. It takes the data, makes it easier to digest. So over here, you can see that my total plants, the over 500,000, is worth $2,535, which I don't really pay much attention to. Although I like seeing that number go up, that's not what pays me. Here's what you need to pay attention to. My daily returns right now are $84 a day. I'm making 8.1 LP per day, and I'm producing 19,000 plants per day. You can see that I have 575,000 plants. And the other number you really want to pay attention to is this share of the contract. And the way that it works is you get 3% of your share of the contract. So if your share continues to go up, then the 3% you're earning is going to continue to go up. So these are the numbers you need to pay attention to. The LP that you're producing per day, the share of contract that you have compared to the other players in the game, like how big your garden is compared to other players. And the other most important thing, if we jump back over to the actual drip garden page, is the total LP that's locked. So 443,000 LP. Now, just the other day, this was at 441. So it's sort of teetering right now. It had a nice surge from, I think, 350 LP to 350,000 to 443,000 now. You need these elements working in unison to have the best success in the garden. So it all becomes about timing to really take advantage of it, which is why I think that this could be the prime and opportune time. This is the checkmate move. If drip is getting set for a mega pump, if drip has major price appreciation in the future, well, this is 3x exposure to the drip token. And if you want to be on the good side of that 3x exposure, then this could be the play. Now, I say could be the play because no one knows the future, and I could be wrong, and we all could be wrong. But you're trying to figure out, are the odds in my favor? What am I willing to risk? What's my risk tolerance? All of those things working together. Another great tool that I actually got put onto by Mike the investor, so shout out to you, Mike. I hadn't seen this before, but this is farmershouse.finance. And honestly, what I like about this is that the numbers are big and easy to read. Other than that, it's not really any new information, but you can quickly see the contract balance overall. You can see how many plants that you have grown, your ownership. You can see I have 0.5% of the pool ownership, worth $2,532. You can see your plants per day, and you could see what you're making daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. Now, remember, you can't claim, although it's saying I can make $30,000 yearly, you know that if I claimed every day, my percent of what I'm earning would go down because my share of the overall contract would go down because the days that I'm claiming, other people are compounding and they're gaining ground on me. So that's the game element of this. This is why you have to develop strategies of when to claim, how often to claim, and claiming when the contract balance is going up rather than going down. That's my personal strategy, is when it's going down, I'm compounding. When it's going up, that's when I'm starting to take my profits. And you guys, on my last video, I had never taken a profit for the first 6 or 7 months that I was in the drip garden, and I just now have started taking profits. I'm going to share with you my strategy so far and how it's been working for me. So if we jump over to another tool, which is Dune Analytics, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. This shows you overall stats about the drip garden and your personal wallet performance. And you can see here, this is a really good representation of my LP tokens. They are continuing to go up. And I started claiming, I want to say right around in here, I started doing some claims. And you can see that I'm still gaining with my strategy. My LP production is still increasing. And my actual share of the contract has stayed on par and has slightly increased even still. So what I'm doing right now, I'm compounding every day except for Monday and Thursday. These are 2 days that I picked and I just sort of spaced them out so they wouldn't be back to back. And on those 2 days, I'm letting it collect through the night, and then the next morning I'm doing a claim. So it really amounts to about 12 hours worth of claiming on 2 different days. So you can view it as 1 day of claiming per week spread out over 2 days. So for me, what that looks like is on Sunday night, I stop compounding. I make my last compound around 7 p.m. And then on Monday morning around 7 a.m., I go ahead and do a claim. Then from that time period on until Wednesday night at 7 p.m., I'll make my last compound then. And then same thing Thursday morning at 7 a.m., I will claim that amount. So far, I've done that about two or 2.5 weeks so far. And I'm really liking it. So I've gained about 30. You can see I have 30 LP right here. And all the while, if we go back over here, you can see I'm still growing in my LP production. So that's what you really want to see. It'd probably be more if I wasn't claiming, but you guys, the whole strategy of this is to actually figure out how to profit from it, right? And how do we, and the game is how do I profit while still increasing my numbers? So for now, this is my strategy. I think once the garden takes off, once the actual number of LP locked in here begins to take off, you guys, if you look at this right here, let's go down and look at what it was at all-time high. Right here, there actually were 800,000 LPs locked in here. So we're 50% down right now. So there's room for 50% growth in the actual overall TVL locked into the garden. And with that going up, your LP production is going to go up because of that. The amount of your daily returns is going to go up because of that, because every LP is going to be worth more money, right? If you go over to the farmershouse.finance, you could see that the LP price is $10.31 per LP. And this is where the price of drip comes into play, which is the fourth factor of the drip garden, which I forgot to mention. It's, the things you want to watch are the contract balance going up, your LP production, your share of the contract, and obviously the price of drip, which is this drip LP price. This going up, I remember, I want to say it was like $50 or $60 when I bought in February. So there's a lot of room to explode in there. So jumping back over to Dune Analytics, you can see what's happening here. This is a visual representation of the contract balance. And what does that look like to you? It looks like a rounded bottom. It looks like it's rounding, right? So it went from 800,000 down to about 358,000. So we've already climbed back up almost 100,000 LP, which with much, much more room to go. You guys have heard me say this before, but you're looking for confluence amongst ideas that all point in the same direction. And the more that you can stack together, the better your odds are of the investment working out in your favor. Now, you can never have 100% certainty, so it's really degrees and levels of certainty, but you're looking to increase the level of certainty by adding a bunch of elements together. Things like what we've talked about. We've talked about this contract balance starting to level out and starting to go back up. We've talked about the drip price. We've talked about the launch date for the animal farm that's coming a week from today. We've talked about the actual launch of the farm coming, which is going to introduce tons of new people and new capital that's going into the farm. They're going to lay eyes on the drip garden. They're going to find out about the drip faucet, and the money's going to start to flow in there. There is the new UI that Forex leaked yesterday of drip. And I got to say, you guys, this is super clean looking. Is it groundbreaking? No. But is it very clean? Does it instill more confidence in the investor's mind than the water background? I think it does. Now, this alone, I don't think would do very much, but you start adding all of this together. So we've got the launch of the farm, we've got Scratchy launching, we got all the new games and tokenomics that are in the new farm that's coming. You add this to the mix, and then you add layer 2 faucet, layer 2 reservoir that's supposed to be adding some new gaming elements to make it more fun and more sustainable. And then you add fiat on-ramp, which knocks down the big domino that keeps people, the barrier to entry that keeps a lot of people that don't know how to buy drip from buying drip. Again, all these things working together. It's all coming together. This could be the checkmate move. I'm looking to build this balance up, and I have a long way to go. I'd like to get 1,000 of these. I might have to start buying them because I don't think I'll be able to claim enough. But I'd like to get 1,000 of those to add into the farm section over here in the farms. And you can see right here, this drip USD, this thing is going to be lit when the farm goes live. This thing is going to have millions of TVL in it alone because it produces pigs. And everybody wants to earn these pigs because they want to stash them over into the pig pen. Another video, I'm going to share with you guys my piggy bank. I've got over 56 million piglets, so that's pretty fun, but I'll share that in a different video. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys are doing amazing. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below, because otherwise I won't know if you do or not, and it means the world to me to actually know that I'm helping people. And while you're down there, please subscribe. It's my goal and my mission to provide life-changing content for you, to challenge you to be your best self, to live your best life, and to change your financial future forever. You guys are awesome. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.